Robert Beaver,
Here.
Betty Brusky Malik, Kristen Krass,
Here.
Craig Gerlach, Justin Herder,
Here.
Richard Merton,
Here.
Linnea Miller,
Here.
Gordon Shallow,
Here.
Charles Spargo.
Here.
Thanks for covering for me, Chris, by the way.
No problem, Bob. Anytime.
Okay. Open meeting certification. This February 15th, 2021 meeting of the Mid-State Technical College District Board of Directors and all other meetings of the board and or its committees is open to the public in compliance with state statutes. Notice this meeting has been sent to news media and designated persons in an attempt to make citizens of the Mid-State Technical College District Board aware of the place, time, and agenda of the meeting. This is our open forum where somebody can speak. Is there anyone to speak at the open forum? Hearing none, I will forego the rest of that. We need a motion and a second on the minutes of the February or January meeting, excuse me.
I'll move to approve the January 18th, 2021 board meeting minutes. This is Justin.
Second,
This is Chris. I'll second it.
any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same, motion carried. Next is the consent agenda items. We have payment of bills and payroll. Excuse me.
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Is there a second?
Linnea, second.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, please.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Kristen Krass,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Merton,
Yes.
Linnea Miller,
Yes.
Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Okay, the next is the chairperson's report. Welcome everybody to the meeting. The HCCT Legislative Summit was held virtually this year. Bob, Betty, Linnea, and Bobby attended. Anybody want to make any comments on that? Hearing none, other than Bobby, I apologize for missing the kind meeting. Other than that, I heard most of the general sessions and a few of the others, but mostly general sessions. I thought the group on rural community college education was fairly good. It's a little hard to relate to the Indian reservation situation because they really have a spread out affair to deal with out there in North Dakota. So, but other than that, I thought it was real good and certainly had some good ideas. I thought Joe Biden and the group that was in that panel did a nice enough job. And I thought that just in general, the group from, I think they had it listed from the group from the Hill, a group of representatives and so forth, that they did a nice job. And almost all of it was pro community college stuff. But, from free tuition to building on other kinds of things. And I don't know what you thought, Bobby, but I thought they did a great job with that.
Yeah, Bob, I thought that it was probably one of the best summits that we have been to in a long time. And I thought that was just very efficiently run. And I thought that they had really good representatives, very, very balanced from both political parties. So we were able to get a really good view or worldview of what's going on. I boiled it down to a number of topics. Free college was clearly a topic that was introduced by Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady. Student loan debt relief was also, we heard Speaker of the House Pelosi talk significantly about that. We also heard her talk about more funding for post-secondary education as they start looking at the Rescue Act. And then, of course, they talked a bit about the Higher Education Act. And while that's still being talked about, and needs to be overhauled in some ways. What we heard was that it's probably unlikely to happen and be taken up this year due to the other priorities of the new administration and just kind of getting things handled there. And then, like you said, Bob, many presentations surrounding strategies in the COVID environment. Also, lots of tips for diversity and inclusion, and even working with those topics in the COVID environment. So I agree. I thought it was really informative.
Thank
Bob,
you. Yes.
Bob, this is
Yes.
Betty. Sorry, I cut out, but I am present, and I think of all the Washington trips I've made, this was far by the best. Sky Blue or whoever was in charge of registration and the online hookup for all of us was great. I liked that we could be able to back up during the live sessions if we missed something, and during the breaks you could back up. Everything came in loud and clear. I would give ACC A+ for this conference.
I would agree. And I thought the session on Friday with Layla was good, was plenty good enough too, and done well.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Next is the Ward Association, and we have that meeting in March, I believe, right?
Yes.
And that's the election of officers, and they're seeking a nomination. Or are there any nominations? They are seeking nominations. Betty is interested in serving as president. She's been the vice president this past year, and Chuck Bolstead has been the secretary treasurer, and he would move up to vice president. So if we have any other, if we probably should, or I would support that. And I also would suggest if you got anybody to put for secretary treasurer, we could do that. And I think Linnea has indicated an interest. If I understand that right?
Yeah, that's possible, but I think maybe I should wait a year because I'm still working. I'm not reliable,
Okay.
but yeah, I would say wait a year.
Okay.
Bob,
Anybody else?
would you like to formalize the nomination of Betty then?
Sure.
Thank you.
Can I move for that, or should somebody else?
You can.
I'll move.
Second, it's Chuck.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 I assume we weren't going to spend any money to campaign for her, so you could do a voice vote. Angie's shaking her head. Okay.
Yeah.
Board appointment.
Bob, can I just add, it is April 16th is the meeting date. So anyone interested in attending, I can register you.
I will. Board appointment for 2021. Letter was sent to county board chairpersons within the district announcing the start of the appointment process. The appointment committee will seek members from employer, employee, and school district positions. I believe I better let Angie tell us. I think it's Craig and Gordon, and who am I missing?
Linnea?
Linnea, okay. And materials for any interested candidates are due in by 4 o'clock on March 3rd. The appointment meeting will be held Thursday, March 18th at 5 at the district office. Any questions?
Julie, so we'll be in touch with details on that.
Thank you. The next meeting is March 15th it will be at the Wisconsin, virtually or at the Wisconsin Rapids campus. Committee of the whole at 4:30 and regular meeting at 4:40. It's probably going to be virtual as near as I can tell, listening to people.
Hey, Bob,
Okay, yes.
can I jump in really quick? This might be an appropriate time to say this. I just want to let you know that I did send you a message this morning, and I did have a conversation with Dr. Mindike earlier this morning, but I am going to be resigning my seat on the district board. So tonight is going to be my last meeting with all of you.
Oh,
Well,
That's
sorry
kind
to
of-
hear that.
Well, yeah. The time is kind of right for me. My career is keeping me rather busy. I have a 6 and an 8-year-old that I can actually hear in another room that are developing quite the active social lives themselves. So we keep pretty busy running around these days. So I think at this point, it's best I step aside for now. So hopefully you haven't seen the last of me. I know our paths will cross again. I want to
I
thank
hope
all
so.
of you. It's been a really fun 6-7 years that I've been with all of you. So I really have valued my time here with all of you.
Thank you.
Same here.
We're gonna miss you, Justin.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm gonna miss all of you as well.
yeah. Yeah, Justin, on behalf of the college, just thank you for serving. With this being your last meeting, I just want to make sure I publicly say that you have been a true leader. I know you have been in the chair role, and we just appreciate everything you have done. And just thanks for being a great friend to Midstate. And hopefully, maybe sometime down the road, if your life slows down a little bit and you have some time, we would love to have you back. So there's always that open invitation. Please know that, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You will be
Just
missed.
leave some time to fish.
Yeah, well, we try to make time for a little bit of that as well, Bob, definitely.
Okay.
So with that, Bob, just so you know, I will work with Angie. Angie and I already spoke this morning just to kind of find out exactly what that means. So once we kind of sort that all out, we will let you know. Since we already had posted going out with those 3 open positions, we're not able to kind of tack it on. So we'll find what will be the appropriate process to be able to fill Justin's role. So just so you know.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
don't think you can, I don't think you'll be able to fill it.
Good comment, Betty.
That's a perfect one. There's big shoes there. You never replace anybody, right? It's just you find another set of shoes, right? That's a good way to say it.
I know.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Foundation report. Is Jill around?
I am, Bob.
That's good.
How are
There
you
she
guys?
is. I'm fine, thank you.
Well, that's good. Thank you for having me tonight. Just some updates for you. First of all, on the events front, the foundation is moving forward with planning our events for this summer and fall. We know they may look a little bit different because of COVID, but we're hopeful that the vaccine and our mask wearing and the social distancing has helped. So our first event will be on June 21st at the Stevens Point Country Club. We're going to Stevens Point this year to the country club. We've never been there, so we're hopeful that experience, we've already met with them and they feel they have a pretty good system to make sure that everybody can have a good time and be socially distanced and so forth. The trap shoot is going to be earlier this year. It's going to be in August. And our scholarship reception is also going to be in September. So we spread out events to help with efficiency and effectiveness of all of our events without having 2 or 3 events piled up. And so we're really excited about that. We're also planning again to participate in the free tuition Thursdays with the Wisconsin Rafters this year. It's where we take qualifiers each week. They win a $500 scholarship automatically for being qualified. And then they have a chance to win $15,000 in tuition, books, and fees if the Rafters strike out their opponent at the top of the 3rd inning. So there's 5 Thursdays this year, and we're really excited about that. One of the things with our partnership with the Rafters that has been an extra bonus for us from the foundation perspective is every year during the Midstate night, which last year, of course, we donated our tickets back because of COVID, but they still had a game. And they had blackout jerseys that night where fans in the stands could bid on those. It was a silent auction. And we just received that check last week for $2,200 that they raised with our blackout jerseys last year. It's the largest that they've ever raised in a jersey auction in their existence. So we're very fortunate to be the recipients of that. And I thank the college for having this partnership with the Rafters because it's really been a true blessing to our students with these extra funds from that. As far as activities, even though with the crazy times with COVID, we continue to see impact with our students through the generosity of donors. One of the things that was really evident was our annual appeal that happened in December. And I want to thank all of you that had taken the time and sent in money to the foundation with the annual appeal. We were able to raise over $62,000 in our annual appeal compared to $39,000 in 2019. So we had a significant increase in our 2020 annual appeal. So thank you all for being a part of that. Also, even though COVID has been crazy and enrollments have been crazy, I have to give kudos to our outreach team and so forth. We had 102 high school students apply for scholarships this year in their window over December and January, and that's compared to 92 the previous year. So even though enrollment has been a struggle across the state and across the nation, our outreach team is doing a fabulous job continuing to talk to students about the importance of getting their education, staying close at home, and sharing all the successes that our programs have to offer them and so forth. So we're really pleased with that. We right now are in the middle of our employee giving campaign. And last year we had 60% of our employees give to our campaign, and we're shooting for 70% this year. And if they do, the ELT members will compete in the 5-second game. If you ever have watched Ellen, it's where you answer a question with 3 answers within 5 seconds, and whoever does it faster wins, and there's a series and so forth. So we are developing those questions right now. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to get that recorded early in March, and that our staff will have supported us with 70% giving. Updates. The foundation board will continue to meet virtually for our April board meeting. Our board is still concerned about COVID, and they're taking the role, let's just keep attending virtually until we see a larger increase in the ability to meet in person. We also are working on our strategic plan. We had done surveys to all of our stakeholders. Thank you to all of you who have participated in that. We are reviewing the data, and we're going to be presenting that to our board in April. And our Scholarship and Grants Committee has been working on our policy and procedure for that, and that will be heading to our foundation board for approval in April as well. We continue to grow interest in the Sponsor a Scholar program. We have probably about 4 businesses right now that are entertaining, participating in that, some from our business programs all the way to our industrial programs. So we're really excited about that. And our emergency funding from donors have been extremely high. We are absolutely thrilled with the generosity of so many for our emergency funding, so we can help more students as they hit those financial milestones and crises. We are fortunate, though, with the COVID CARES money and so forth, that we've had money to help students outside of the foundation. This is just another level if a student really needs significant help. So those are some things that are happening there. A couple of things that I wanted to share with you about the collaboration that we have been doing with the college. One, we had been reached out to by our outreach and retention office, Jackie Elselman's team, about trying to figure out how we can build a program from March to not only impact our summer programming, but maybe fall and spring. So together we came up with a 1-2-3 program, 1-2-3 free program, where the foundation has found some scholarship money where we're going to be scholarshiping up to $900 worth of credits for students if they take a class in summer, continue in fall, and continue in spring. So in summer, they would get 1 credit paid, in fall, 2 credits paid, and in spring, 3 credits paid. This is going to allow for 25 students to participate in this, and we're really, really excited about the fact that we are able to think outside the box and be creative with the college and how we can hopefully help impact enrollment, not only upcoming for summer, but also as we move into the fall and spring. In addition, I am pleased to share with all of you that the foundation board in our January board meeting approved a $100,000 donation to the Advanced Manufacturing, Engineering, Technology, and Apprenticeship Center. They've seen the value in what we are trying to accomplish for students and know the impact. And so we are very pleased that we can help with that by donating $100,000 to the project. So thank you for bringing it forth to us to have the opportunity to participate. We really are truly blessed with that. So, and then also the foundation and myself have been actively working with Shelley and the ELT staff on the manufacturing center. We're working on a number of donors that have not only impacted the foundation in the past, but also have the ability to impact this project. So I thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. And if anybody has any questions, I would entertain them now.
Any questions?
Yeah,
If not,
Jill,
thank
can you,
Sorry.
Jill, can you share the companies that are interested in the sponsor scholarship?
Right now we have Ho Chunk, Urco, Mitotech, Warzala. I'm trying to think up the top. The Adams County Chamber.
Oh,
So yeah, we have a number of them that we're working on right now.
thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Any other questions? If not, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Sounds like a good report. Yes. Shelley, you're up.
Wonderful, Bob. Thank you. So since our last meeting in January, we really have been working hard on having another smooth semester start, including having everything in place with all of our COVID precautions we have had over the last few months. So when you think of a new semester, you have staff coming back again, but you have to refresh what our precautions and what we're doing. But you also have a number of new students who come to maybe Midstate the first time. So there's a lot of upfront education and communication that has to be redone, if you want to think of it that way. But I think we've done it very successfully. I'm also happy to say that we were able to secure some companies to come into our cafeteria over the spring semester to really be able to offer some food during the lunch service. You may recall I had shared with you that our cafeteria vendor, because of the low number of people on our campus, both students and staff, that they were just not able to continue. But we were able to find 4 different companies who are coming 1 day a week to be able to offer something to staff and students. So I'm happy with that. This is really kind of an interim stage to see what will happen, if our cafeteria vendor will come back after spring semester, or again, as we move towards our own culinary program, will this interim bridge be a little bit longer, and when can we utilize our own students? And so we don't know, but this is a short-term plan to be able to have some service spring semester. And then in addition, we had Mission Coffee that's out of the Plover area. They are also coming to our Wisconsin Rapids campus, and they are really being our coffee vendor for spring semester. We're excited about that. So they're coming in and bringing their hot and cold beverages. Had a couple of days where they gave free samples. So you can imagine how that went over very, very well. So we're really, it's about helping our local businesses. So we're, you try to always see that silver lining. So I think even though maybe it did not work for our cafeteria vendor with the numbers, hopefully it will maybe help these 5 businesses, help them kind of going through the COVID times. As a college, we continue to stay on top of the COVID related issues. We're working with our local health departments on vaccinations. We don't have an official date yet when we'll be able to offer that to our staff. But again, we're, staying in touch with them. We also have received dollars, our number of what we're going to get for our second COVID relief. If you remember, when we got our first allocation, we called that the CARES money. And the second allocation now that has come our way is called CRISA. So you're going to hear about CARES money and you're going to hear about CRISA money. So we're working a part of the CRISA money again. Part of it will go to the institution to help us cover costs. The other portion will be handed out with students with financial aid again. So just know that that COVID financial team that we've put together, boy, it just continues to be a lot of work because we need to be able to meet criteria to be able to use the dollars. But I think, again, we're doing a pretty good job of that. There is talk, as you know, of maybe another COVID relief bill coming our way. We'll wait and see. We'll see if that is needed or not. I can tell you, getting this dollars now, it definitely helps us. But we also, when we're asking the state for money from some other needs, getting federal dollars really doesn't help when you're asking for state dollars. So we're just doing our best. We're happy that there are some dollars, but we also want to make sure that it's the right number, because we don't want to have a surplus as well, if that makes sense. And because of the criteria, we would never want to turn money back. So again, we're trying to be very fiscally responsible and being able to use the dollars in the most appropriate way. I have been participating in meetings the month of January. We had the January WTCS state meeting. I also led the January President's Association meeting. I participated in a United Way retreat and a board of director meeting for Aspirus. In addition, having still a number of meetings with companies regarding the potential manufacturing center, we are just under the $4 million mark, everybody. So I think that will be another big milestone. I think when we last gave you the report, we were kind of around that 3.5, 3.6. So again, we've been able to continue to move the needle, and we'll continue to work through that. It just continues to be a time for mid-state staff to be actively involved in all that is happening, because things continue to change, it seems like, by the week. So just know that we're juggling a lot, but I think we're juggling it well. So we are present is a good way to say it. So any questions, everybody? Yeah, Chuck.
Shelley, the new funds that are coming, Krista, you said?
Yeah.
What's the source of that?
Federal dollars. So it's definitely coming. When you hear about the $1 trillion that was approved, there's a portion. So I think it's a little over $90 million is coming into our 16 colleges. So if my numbers are, and Bobby, you probably have it handy, but I think we're getting about 2.5 institutional dollars, and I think we get a little over about 750,000 again for our students. So this last round, we had got about 1.6 the first round, and now the second round is about 3.2 roughly, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so substantial numbers, which again, it's that first round of funding. We needed all of that. But we've been really fiscally responsible. Every month we're looking to see where we're at. And we definitely had a little bit of a wish list, depending on if virtual learning needs to occur at this high level. But again, it's a lot of money. So the thought of if there's additional money coming, we just want to make sure we're utilizing it in the best way. So Bobby, offhand, can you check my numbers, make sure I'm in the ballpark there? I don't have any of my notes handy, but I think that's about where we were at. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you are. Yep. We just recently got 3.5 million, and about 800,000 will go to the student emergency grant again, leaving us with roughly the 2.5, 2.6.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
If the Rescue Act comes through, that could be somewhere between our first, they're estimating it'll be somewhere between our first award and our second award. So we may get anywhere between another 700,000 to another 1.5 for the college, and another 800,000 for students.
Yeah, so the rescue could be that possible third COVID relief bill that would be coming. So you had heard we're getting about 3.2 million on the second round. To give you an example, like a Madison College, just on the second round alone, they're getting 20 million. Wow. And so anytime you receive federal dollars, you can imagine all the accounting, the criteria. There's just a lot that goes in. We're very thankful for it, but we just don't want to leave that money on the table. But yet it's also, we have to show how we're spending it, which has to be COVID related. So you can imagine some of the, when you're a smaller college, you may not have as much of those costs that we are trying to recoup. So first round was good. Second round maybe got a little too much. Third round, not sure. So we'll see.
Shelley.
Never turn away money though. We don't want to turn it back, because we're afraid if we turn it back, if there's any dollars from the state, they're going to say, well, you didn't use your federal dollars, so why should the state give you any money? So it's a real slippery slope. And being a leader on the president's right now, it's something we're really, really trying to manage, because we're hearing it from our local legislators. They're asking, how much are you getting? Why are you asking for money? Well, because we have other needs that are not COVID related. We can't use COVID related dollars for things that are not COVID related, if that makes sense. So people hear about all this money, but it really doesn't get to all the needs that we really have.
Got it.
Shelley.
Yeah.
Are you guys the same way as small businesses are with the PPP money, where it's actually a loan and then you have to prove you used it for COVID? Otherwise, you have to pay it back or pay it back with interest, the 1% interest. Is it being handled the same way?
No, not per se the 1% interest, just meaning that we, COVID-related PPE expenses is something we can submit for our reimbursement, but we have to show that we've spent it before the dollars are there. So it's just part of, basically what they've done is we have our list of our expenses, and then we basically ask for a portion of our dollars to be given to us rather than maybe getting all the dollars at once. So it's managing it that way. So we would never get into a situation where we have taken dollars and then not used it. So if we get to a point where we would not take any dollars, it's just because we don't have anything to show for it, and we would not ask for that amount, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, I think your question was about PPP.
Yes, I was just wondering.
Program.
Yep, I was wondering if it was handled the same way.
No, and we didn't do the payroll protection program. It's not.
Okay. Right. I was just wondering if the money was handled the same way when it came to the college.
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else, Shelley?
Shelley, any comment about the suggestion from Thompson about the consolidation between UW and technical college systems?
Oh, how much time do you have, everybody? No, so this is definitely, I have a very strong opinion, not only being a president, at a WTCS technical college, but also being the president of the President's Association. We really feel, and I think Morna Foy did a great job of really our statement, and I fully support it. We definitely don't feel that that would be in the best interest of the WTCS system or our employers and our students. We really feel that the 2-year UW colleges, the UWs have to make a decision on that. That's part of their system. But to somehow say, gosh, we're just going to all go underneath them makes no sense to me. And we will definitely be able to continue to show that. I think there will be little support for that, Rick. I really do. But again, I think they don't, the issue should not be clouded right now. They need to make a decision about their 2-year UWs. And I think some people would say that because of the 2-year UW colleges being in local communities, I think there'd be a number of employers that would say it should go the other way around if really somebody was going to take over the 2-year UWs. But that's for them to decide. We would never want them to tell us what we should do with our campuses, so the UW needs to figure out what to do with their 2 years. But we as a system, we're a standalone. We are a solid system. As you know, the WTCS system has the most number of college students across the state. So if you want to talk pure numbers, who should take over who, the numbers then should speak for themselves. So.
This comes around about every 4 or 5 years, and keep in mind, it's about a power grab. It's not about money. They all throw that money out there. They all want to be in charge of everybody. We have 2 distinct, different missions, folks. Very, very distinct, different missions.
Yep.
If we forget that, as board members in this system, we'll lose a whole bunch. Very different system.
Absolutely.
Yes, I thought Morna did do a good job, and she jumped on it too. Good for her.
Yeah, well, we've been prepared, and we think a lot of that statement probably has come because of our WTCS ask around transfer, which I think once we show you some of these numbers with our liberal studies, which we will a little bit later, you're going to be really amazed at even our mid-state numbers, and again, why it makes no sense that only a few colleges have that ability. All 16 need to have that ability. And but again, you are so right, Bob. We have a mission. They have a mission. I think the state of Wisconsin is strong because they do have 2 great systems. So let's just make each one better rather than somehow do something that just doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay, Chuck, you're up.
Okay, just had to get my mic unmuted. Page 15 shows the budget modifications. Oh, I'm sorry, we've already handled our consent agenda items, so I'm just moving into the treasurer's report. Page 15 shows the budget modifications made in the month of January. Not a lot of big items there. Total increase in revenue of just over $42,000. increased in budgeted expenses of just over 73,000. So a net decrease in the budget fund balance of just under $31,000. So page 16 shows the impact of those budget modifications. $34,000 in Fund 1 increase, $42,000 in the total budget revenues, and expenditures. Fund 1 goes up 55,000. Total expenditures go up 73,000 for, again, a net decrease in total fund balance of almost $31,000. The next page, page 17, shows the accrued revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund equity. Year to date, we've got 7 months of the fiscal year gone by. That's 58% of the fiscal year. We've received 62% of our revenue. About $1 million in revenue came in this past month in Fund 1, and nearly $2 million total. In the expenditure section, $2 million of expenditures in Fund 1, $3 million total in expenditures. So our year-to-date accrued revenues are exceeding expenses still by nearly $4 million, although we spent $1 million more just for the month of January than our revenues. So our total fund equity for the month dropped 1.2 million, but we're still doing well. Our fund expenditures total of 49% compared to the budget is below the 58% of the year that's passed by. Fund 1 reflects very closely with the 58% of the year gone by at 57%. But what we have most control over is the current expenditures. We've only expended 47% of the budget. So we're doing very well controlling the expenditures that we have most control over under the trend line there. If there are no questions on the current actuals, I'll move on to page 18, showing the balance sheet. We received some property tax dollars, so cash went up, receivables went down, and we've got about $20 million in cash, which is about 70% of our maximum, which occurred several years ago in February 2017. Any questions on the balance sheet or any other aspect of the treasurer's report? Okay, hearing none. The next item on our agenda is the Wisconsin.
We need a motion, Chuck. Don't we need a motion to approve the? Okay.
I don't think so. The next item on the agenda is the Wisconsin Rapids Culinary Remodel Project. We have a resolution to address. Is someone going to speak to the project a little bit?
I can, Chuck.
Very good. Go ahead, Matt.
Sure. Board, if you recall last month, Deb, Mandy, and I presented information on the culinary program and the proposed renovations in support of that program. Having shared that information with you last month, we'd like to go forward with approval of the project by you, our district board, and permission to seek the same approval from the state board for that project. In your board packet, you would have received a copy of the resolution seeking your approval and requesting approval by the WTCS State Board. Now, as we bring this request to you, Dr. Bobby Damrow would like to share some recent news associated with the forthcoming program.
Thanks, Matt.
Bobby?
Yep. Thanks, Matt. Just to demonstrate the excitement and partnership around the Mid-State Technical College culinary program, our faculty chef, Paul Kennedy, was asked to interview with Channel 7, along with one of our industry partners, Chef John from Sand Valley, I'm not sure if you saw the clip on Channel 7. It aired last week, but we've received some very positive feedback on this news clip. And I shared with the team here that you just can't buy advertising like this. And I think Angie's going to pull it up. It's only a couple minutes long, but I hope you enjoy it.
There's a growing need for culinary professionals in the area. I'll explain how a new program at Mid-State Technical College is servicing that need.
And later, a new phone scam is being reported in central Wisconsin. What you can do to avoid being a victim. Breaking news just into our newsroom. The Marathon County Sheriff's Department is asking for your help finding a missing and endangered man. In a post on Facebook, deputies say Harry Zaromsky was reported missing by his family. He's missing from his home in the town of Franzen, that's north of Rosscholtz. Deputies say he has other health issues. He may be driving a 2002 Toyota Tacoma with license plates 215070F. If you see him, please call the police. We're hearing from the DHS why some vaccinators in Wisconsin still have not received doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Deputy Secretary Julie Willems Van Dyke says up until 3 weeks ago, there were enough vaccines that every vaccinator could receive at least some of what they were asking for. However, this past week, 505 vaccinators asked for nearly 290,000 doses. That means some places didn't get the vaccine at all, meaning places like Hometown Pharmacy and Plover didn't get any.
We have people traveling from Bancroft and Amherst and Allman all the way down from Coloma, and they don't have.
One moment, Bobby.
Those things were not things we're going to seek approval for. The missing and the vaccinations. That's unrelated.
I think it's about 5 minutes in, Angie.
I don't envy Angie's position. Trying to facilitate virtually with a whole news broadcast. You're trying to find 2 minutes in there.
If people haven't seen it, it was a very nice clip. So,
Yeah. And maybe what we can do, if Angie's having difficulty, why don't we just send it, unless you think you need that to make, to make the approval, but I think that's just a compliment. So if nothing else, maybe we could just send it out, Angie, after, and then that way, that maybe would be best if you're not able to locate it quickly.
well, or if she can get it, Shelley, sometime, so later on, that'd be fine. It is a nice clip, though. Yeah.
Yep.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'd like to clarify, this is just phase one. There's going to be 2 or 3 phases eventually. So this isn't the whole deal, but this is the phase one of it. I think it's an important step to take. I would make a motion to approve the resolution as presented in Exhibit F.
You get a second?
If I'll second, this is Justin.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please, Angie.
Robert Beaver,
Yes.
Brewski Malik,
Yes.
Kristen Kress,
Yes.
Justin Herder,
Yes.
Richard Murden,
Yes.
Ann Miller,
Yes.
Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Charles Spargo.
Yes.
Motion passed. That concludes yours, Chuck.
It does, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Greg, was there anything else that needed to be added?
No, thank you, Chuck. That was all.
All right. That's it then. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. Betty, you're up.
For the Academic and Student Services Committee, all we have is an informational item. Dr. Deb Stencil will fill it in.
All right, thank you, Betty. I wanted to share with you information about our January faculty and part-time faculty in service. So January 2021 was a busy month, as it typically is. Education Services held faculty in service programming both for our full-time faculty and our part-time faculty. On January 20th, we held faculty in service with the theme of The College That Could, which focused on helping faculty tell their assessment story. A faculty panel provided examples of their assessment discoveries, and then we had another faculty panel that really provided a comical vignette that shared different roles and how different faculty approach assessment, from the paper files in a suitcase to having files on your phone. So it was very cute. These stories led to the afternoon session where faculty were given time to create and tell their assessment story. So they talked about how they collected assessment data, how they identified changes for improvement, and then what they've learned as a result of their assessment efforts. The day concluded with a student panel sharing their powerful stories on what it means for them to be a student at Midstate. Then on January 14th and 15th, we provided part-time faculty in service with the same theme. So a full-time faculty panel came in to the virtual session with the part-time faculty and shared what they're doing around assessment. The part-time faculty both had time to work on their assessment story, or they learned more in detail about what the assessment expectations were and how they needed to kind of work together to do what they needed to do around assessment. We had 39 part-time faculty attend one of these sessions, which was the largest group in at least the last 10 years. So we were very pleased that we had that kind of response. Both educational events were well received. We had comments such as, this was the best faculty in service ever, very well organized and useful information, a unique fun format, love the mix of activities to keep folks engaged. Sharing assessment data was so beneficial. And then someone also mentioned our assessment tracking efforts truly do make a difference. So both of these events really help to prepare the faculty and also our co-curricular assessment team really get ready for the accreditation visit, which is in May. So any questions about what we did with faculty or part-time faculty in service?
Thanks, Deb.
Sure, thank you.
Human Resources, Justin.
Hi, thank you. So we have two items this evening, the first being board travel policies, Exhibit G with Dr. Karen Brzezinski.
Good afternoon. I hope I have the easiest item on the agenda today. You have received in your packet Exhibit G, which is the board travel policy, which currently and prior has been an administrative policy. And as we were doing our annual review of our administrative policies, we pulled this one out to look at and just thought this really should be a board policy. This should not be an administrative policy. So you have it in your packet. You can read it over, but it really talks strictly and solely to board travel. So Angie's telling me that after discussion, we will need a voice vote to approve to move this from an administrative policy to a board policy if you wish.
Are there any questions?
Karen, this policy refers to an administrative policy that I take it still exists?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. And that is an administrative policy that everybody owns them. Certain ones, based on where it is, that one's owned by business services.
Okay, thank you. So this policy existed before, it was just in the administrative section?
Yeah.
Thank you. I would vote to make the move over to a board policy. It seems appropriate.
Yeah.
This is Betty, and I
Second?
would second. This is
Okay.
Betty, yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. We have an informational item. Bobby?
Yep, just wanting to share that the Workforce and Economic Development team forged a new training partnership with Wysocki Family of Companies. And it really was through their assistance with the DWD Fast Forward Training Grant application, in January, the college was named their training partner after they actually received the grant notification. So just a quick background, like many of our industry partners, Wasaki was struggling with recruiting and retaining individuals that had the necessary skills to do the job and then grow within their role. So in order to increase retention, they recognized that they had some employees that could utilize some additional training, and that they could create some diverse skill set that would actually allow them to stay on all year long throughout the non-growing season as well. So they wouldn't leave them after the growing season. So we met with them with regard to the Advanced Manufacturing Engineering Technology and Apprenticeship Center. And the conversations continued on, and finally they decided to ask us to be their grant partner. The first cohort of 12 students began training on January 28th, and that was a mechanical maintenance course. And then it was followed in February by an electrical safety and maintenance course. And then later this spring, the employees will receive training in diesel maintenance. And then finally finish off with some soft skills training. So this was one cohort that we're going to provide training, and then they're going to repeat it with a second cohort in December. And they're hoping to keep their employees on year round. So kind of a really neat training, a training partnership that I wanted to share with you, as it's a little bit unique because they're keeping the employees that they have and building skills so they can be year-round employees.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, we've got the committee of the whole. It was the administrators reported on the dashboard, and although our FTEs are down a bit with the COVID issue, they're within a range that they feel like they've done well, and we're close to the top 4 or 5 colleges in the state with that. So that shows a real good record of recruiting and working with the high schools and what have you. So I thank the administrative staff and so forth for that. Is there anything Mandy wants to add to that?
No, I
Okay.
think that's great, Bob. Thank you.
Okay. And then we went to the workforce development, and Bobby has met some goals with that, with the FTE contract training. Wow, Beaver. As well as businesses served through contracts. And it looks to me like you've done pretty well with working with other groups to get that to go, Bobby. So congratulations with that. And I think we're going to keep working on it. Anytime that you outdo your goals, I think that's exceptional. Are any comments? Looks like an awful good report to me.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bob.
Discussion and possible action. Liberal arts update. You kick this off, Shelley, or how do we go? Deb's up. Okay.
Yep, I can lead us off. Okay, so tonight we're going to share with you some information about our liberal arts programming. The Associate of Arts and the Associate of Science degrees are designed to provide the first 2 years of a 4-year baccalaureate degree. Currently, 6 of the WTCS colleges have the ability to offer liberal arts programming. They include Chippewa Valley Technical College, Madison College, Milwaukee Area Technical College, Nicolet College, Western Technical College, and Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College. Midstate does not have approval to offer these degrees on our own, so we worked with Nicolet College back in 2017, and we initiated a shared agreement with them. Shortly after this, we promoted Suzanne Rathie to our Dean of General Education area. She also has a responsibility to work on our liberal arts programming with Nicolet College, so she has made huge strides in working through the processes that are needed in order for our students to enroll in our liberal arts programming. She also works with our 4-year partners, not only to increase the number of articulation agreements for our students, but also to make sure that they're quality, that they provide a seamless transition and offering a 2+2 opportunity. So I'm going to turn it over to Suzanne, where she'll talk about our enrollments.
Thank you, Deb. Hello, everyone. I just want to talk a little bit about liberal arts and our shared agreement. And the shared liberal arts agreement between Nicolet College and Mid-State Technical College encompasses two programs, the Liberal Arts Associate of Arts and the Liberal Arts Associate of Science programs. These two programs are designed to be university transfer programs. However, students within these programs are also uniquely poised to enter career fields that require a generalized college education. So the Associate of Arts program will have a heavier emphasis on humanities, whereas the Associate of Science will have a heavier emphasis on the science and math courses. Now, having a shared program means that students entering these programs will be dually enrolled at each college. Students will take up to 30 credits of what we would call AID Code 10 courses, typically seen as freshman level courses at Mid-State Technical College. And then they would take the remaining 30 credits or AID Code 20 courses, typically seen as sophomore level courses at Nicolet College. And when we talk about the types of modalities that students can take courses in, there's a variety of modalities, both at Mid-State and Nicolet College. They can do, excuse me, in-person classes, online classes, computer conferencing classes. Those are the more popular choices for our students. And Nicolet will offer in-person courses on the Mid-State campuses as well. So students never have to travel to Rhinelander to attend class. Now, I can tell you that we're really happy to report that over the past 2 years, we've seen enrollments in these programs grow exponentially. In 2017-2018, really when we started this program, we had 9 students, about 1.89 FTE that first year. In the second year, the 2018-2019 academic year, we jumped from 9 to 26 students and increased our FTE to 9.96. Now, last year, we had an impressive increase. We jumped from 26 to 57 students and had about 19.8 FTE. And so far to date, in this academic year, we are at 103 students and about 33.5 FTE. So the numbers this year are about a 55% increase in FTE from the 2019-2020 school year. Now, these programs attract students directly from high school, but also older students who may have started college previously and are now coming back, or maybe they've been in the workforce and they want to pursue a higher degree. Our outreach specialists at Mid-State have done a tremendous job, really, of talking to our high school students about the opportunity to begin with us and then transfer to one of our four-year partners after the first 2 years. With the substantial cost saving of up to $20,000, the smaller class sizes, the ability to stay in their communities longer, a lot of students feel like this is a really great option for them. In addition to that, of course, Mid-State has been able to utilize social media and other types of marketing to really get the word out about these programs. And we're finding that as the programs grow, more and more students are coming to us because they know someone who had a good experience. We have also been able to identify a spot on our website that specifically talks about the university transfer program. Now, of course, this past year with COVID-19 as a concern, deciding on options for higher ed has been even more complicated for our students. And we have seen an increase in students who maybe want to go to a 4-year directly out of high school, but decided to start with Mid-State for at least one semester for a variety of reasons. Several of those students we know have decided to complete the program with us and then transfer after they obtain their associate degree because of the experience that they have with us. Now, we saw the first graduates of the program in May of 2020. There were 3 graduates. In December, there were another 4, and we expect 6 this May. As students were mostly part-time when the program began, we're now seeing more full-time students in these programs, and we expect that in the next 2 years, we're going to see larger amounts of graduate at each graduation. So we're very excited with the growth of this program, and we continue to investigate ways to serve our communities.
Thank you, Suzanne. I just want to kind of circle back to the conversation that we had earlier during the board meeting, that we do support the WTCS biennial ask that would grant all WTCS colleges the ability to offer liberal arts programs. We know that if we had that opportunity, we would even have more student enrollment because of the, I think it still remains a complicated process because of that dual enrollment with Nicolet and having to work with both colleges. I think if we were able to offer this on our own, we would have more students. It would be more of a seamless process. They would be processes that we have control over, and we certainly are all about process improvement and providing our students with the best experience. We also recognize that we have the ability to share this program with those other potentially 5 WTCS colleges. And if this doesn't go through, we may look at, would it be to our advantage to offer or to share this program with another technical college such as Madison College because of their strong reputation. But again, ideally, as the legislature looks at our biennial request, we definitely would support having the ability to offer this program on our own. We think that would be the best for our students. Are there any questions?
Chuck's got a question.
Yeah. How long, if we did get approval for that, and I know that this is a tough time to be asking it when the UW systems are having their own difficulties, but if we did get that approval, what would it take to gear up to the point where we could be doing it on our own? Because right now, obviously, having the affiliation with Nicolet is a great resource that we'd have to now develop our own. What would it take to get that done?
I think if it was approved where any technical college could go through that approval process, we would do it as a new program approval, just like we would do with any of our programs, right? Where we come to you to say we have this idea for culinary, and we fill out the paperwork. There's a concept review and there's a program approval process. I think I would suspect that the system office would require that just to make sure that we have everything in place to be able to offer the program and serve our students.
So to develop that and then increase the staffing, you're probably talking a couple of years at least, right?
No, I don't think so. I think typically it takes us 6 to 9 months for a new program approval, and then Suzanne would be looking for the faculty at the same time.
Okay.
Right. And Chuck, I think it's important to know that, our faculty are accredited to teach these AID Code 20 courses, just like any of our four-year partners, really. And so, we're already there when it comes to being content and discipline-centered experts.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for saying that, Suzanne, because I think that's really important. Could we offer it tomorrow, Chuck? We could.
Wow.
We really could. And that's why I think there is just that question, if you're that learner coming in, well, why does there have to be that affiliation with Nicolet College? So, I think, again, the whole pathway, it's about pathway. And so if students can save $20,000 and we can offer, we're already doing 10 level, we're just going to offer the 20 level. Our faculty are already credentialed to do it. There's a real strong argument then of why would we not? And you may ask that question, well, why are there only 5 colleges that have that ability? Typically, those were the colleges where there was not a 2-year UW college present. So when you think of the Nicolet district, there's not a 2-year UW up in that area. So that's why Nicolet had that. But again, because of the low numbers right now at the 2-year UWs, there's kind of begs that whole question again about, why isn't every technical college have that ability? So when you think of our students in our district, why are they penalized per se that they couldn't get, that 20 level at our college, but yet if you're in the Nicolet district, that student can. So it really kind of is an equality issue as well. So, and this is one of the things in our budget ask that would not cost any money. So we're not asking for any money from the state. We're just asking for that statute change for all 16 to have the capability of being able to do it.
From a political standpoint, though, wouldn't that essentially put the knife in the back of the UW 2-year colleges?
I don't know if it would do that, Chuck, because I think right now their numbers are so low already. I think there definitely is concern with those numbers even, go down. But I will tell you, there's a really strong argument that if we create this pathway, though, that there's going to be more students that are going to enter the UW, and they're going to enter at a junior status, which means most students who enter or transfer in at a junior status complete, they have a large number of people who go as a freshman into their system that never get past their sophomore year. So part of it could be cost, part of it could be academic wise. So there's a real strong argument that if they can start with us because of our small class size, more people can start with us because it is less money, that really over time, they're going to see an increase in their enrollment because it'll be a seamless pathway. And they'll get more people coming in as a junior, because I think some people would say they don't want to be the weeder outer in freshman and sophomore year. We could do that. So I think when you think of the systems, it's just for that person. If they know for sure their career, they need to have a bachelor's degree. If you think of maybe a teacher, I want to be a teacher. Right now, this gives them the ability to be able to get all those gen eds, right? Get all that stuff done here, save some money, but they're going to transfer they know they're going to be a transfer student. That's what this program is for. So I think that we think the increase of people going for their bachelor's will increase really at the same number that they may lose, initially. But yes, would it affect their numbers maybe at their 2-year UWs? It could, and that probably is one of the reasons why they're hanging on. But I really would say if you would look at those numbers, and we're talking like some campuses have less than 400 students a whole year, that's why there really has to be a decision with those 2-year, colleges.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Anything else? If not, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second. This is Justin.
Okay, we stand adjourned. See you next month, folks.
If the group
Yes,
would
ma'am.
like, I do have that news clip available. I was able
Sure.
to maneuver that.
You got
So if
it.
anybody
Yeah,
wants
yes,
to
you should
stand,
watch. It's good.
That'd be great.
otherwise I can send it out.
Oh,
All right.
It'd probably be good to send it out anyway with for those that can't see it or aren't on the meeting tonight.
Sure.
College in Wisconsin Rapids is introducing a new Culinary Arts Associate degree. News Channel 7's Tony Langfellow explains what students can look forward to with that new program.
There's a growing need for culinary professionals in Wisconsin, and now Mid-State Technical College is looking towards the future by offering more opportunities for students.
Everything that we do here is focused on student success.
After years of steady growth in the hospitality industry, Mid-State Technical College is ready to offer a state-of-the-art culinary program to its students.
I'm very excited about this program. It's a lot of work, but we've had a great amount of support from our advisory board and our leadership here at the college.
The program will be 60 credits and will teach students basic culinary art skills, including cooking methods, knife skills, stock, and much more. Chef Paul Kennedy says students can't wait.
I've gotten 3 emails so far this week wondering how soon they can start. So that's a great start.
A new culinary program calls for a new workspace. The new area will have the latest technology and equipment you'll find at a real restaurant.
Well, this program is going to be important because it's going to provide outlets for careers, not just jobs.
Sand Valley Resort is a partner with Mid-State.
Dining out should be an experience.
They've worked together to develop a culinary program to offer the best student experience possible with chef-guided cooking demonstrations and internships.
So there's definitely a growing need for educated and talented culinarians, especially in this area. We see an uptick of tourism every year after year after year, and it's our responsibility to provide the best possible service for them.
Designing for the new space of the culinary arts program is still in the works, but Mid-State plans to have everything up and running by August. Reporting in Wisconsin Rapids, Tony Langfellow, News Channel 7.
They need.
thanks, Angie. I agree with Chuck. If you can send that out, that'd be great too.
Sure.
Thanks, Angie.
You bet.
We got anything else here?
No.
Okay.
Just continue to stay well, everybody. Continue to stay well.
And warm?
And warm. I guess I need to add that, and warm.
All right. we'll
Drive
see you
safe
guys.
tomorrow, Shelley.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Right.